There's a lot of news these days, and sometimes the death of a famous actor can fly under the radar. Here are some of the stars we've lost so far in 2025.
Afternoon, everybody.
After coming up in Chicago's Second City comedy program, George Wendt worked consistently in film and television from the late 1970s until the mid-2020s. And while he was a frequent guest on Saturday Night Live and starred in a string of broadcast sitcoms, including The Naked Truth and The George Wendt Show, he'll always be most remembered as Norm Peterson, the affable, beer-loving, wife-avoiding barfly accountant on Cheers. Wendt's work on the role was appreciated, earning him 6 consecutive Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. Wendt died in his sleep on May 20, 2025. The cause of death was cardiac arrest. Wendt was 76. Wings Hauser was a quintessential character actor with well over 100 credits on his resume. Hauser disappeared into his roles, which were often tough, intimidating characters. He played a drug dealer in the Richard Pryor film JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, a menacing lieutenant in A Soldier's Story, and a violent pimp in Vice Squad.
That guy is no chief of police. I want to see you die. I want to make you crazy.
His work in Tough Guys Don't Dance earned him a Best Supporting Actor nomination at the 1988 Independent Spirit Awards. On the small screen, Hauser appeared on Beverly Hills 90210, Roseanne, and Criminal Minds, among many others. Hauser died of natural causes in Los Angeles on March 15, 2025. He was 77 years old.
Hey Mom, hey Dad, how's it going? Yeah, Hollywood's great. Yeah, still a loser.
Nicky Katt started out as a child actor back in the 80s, making guest appearances on series like Fantasy Island, Chips, and The Facts of Life. He had featured roles in movies like Gremlins and The Burbs, then went on to establish himself as an adult performer in 1993's Dazed and Confused. Katt's intense performance as Clint set the bar for his future work, which included roles in School of Rock, Boiler Room, Way of the Gun, and The Brave One. Katt also appeared in 49 episodes of the Fox school drama Boston Public as non-traditional teacher Harry Sennett. Katt hadn't appeared on screen since 2018. On April 8, 2025, his body was discovered in his apartment in Burbank, California. The cause of death was suicide. Katt was 54.
It's a massive renal aneurysm, inoperable.
Truly an icon of classic television, Richard Chamberlain made TV history over and over again. Airing from 1961 to 1966, the daring medical drama Dr. Kildare explored serious social issues that had never been seen on American TV. Chamberlain played the young intern, Dr. Kildare.
Facing a new part is always a time of devastating insecurity.
After a foray into film where he brought his natural gravitas to every character he played, Chamberlain returned to TV and became the king of the new genre, the miniseries. He starred in some of the most watched limited-run epics of all time, Shogun in 1980 and The Thornbirds in 1983. Later in his career, Chamberlain made major cameos on shows like Will and Grace, Chuck, Desperate Housewives, and the Twin Peaks revival. On March 29, 2025, Chamberlain died in Hawaii of complications of a stroke. The actor was 90 years old.
What's eating you, Margaret?
At the moment, you are.
MASH is among the most watched, most celebrated sitcoms in history, and Loretta Swit was there for the entire 11-year run. Swit played Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan, a nurse serving in an Army medical unit during the Korean War. She's credited with intentionally crafting her character to reflect modern feminist ideals, and she was rewarded for her efforts, winning the 1980 and 1982 Emmy Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. Swit was also the original Christine Cagney on the police drama Cagney and Lacey. She shot the pilot, but when the series was picked up, her contract with MASH forced her to turn down the job. On May 30, 2025, Swit died in her home in New York City. The initial cause of death, pending a coroner's report, was natural causes. She was 87 years old. For a little while in the 1970s, Joe Don Baker was one of the biggest movie stars in the United States. He thrilled audiences in the 1973 action movie Walking Tall as Buford Pusser, a sheriff who cleans up crime in his Tennessee hometown with a baseball bat. The low-budget indie film earned $40 million and exemplified the vigilante movie mini-craze of the era. After a streak of similar roles, Baker joined the James Bond franchise, first playing an evil adversary of 007 in The Living Daylights, and then switching sides in GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies, playing CIA agent Jack Wade. Baker is also remembered as a crooked cop in the 80s classic Fletch, a private investigator in Cape Fear, and a shotgun-toting alien fighter in Mars Attacks. Baker died on May 7, 2025 in Los Angeles at the age of 89. The cause of death was not announced.
When I asked Harry whether he'd rather watch Mission Impossible or Kiss Me, he said, "What's the difference?"
The psychedelic hippie counterculture vibe in the 1960s hit primetime hard in the form of the variety show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. Among the cast of zany performers was Ruth Buzzi. From 1968 to 1973, Buzzi played a lot of characters, but none was more popular than Gladys, a buttoned-up repressed type who was offended by a great many things, in particular a randy old man played by castmate Artie Johnson, whom she'd beat with her handbag. Buzzi's comedy was broad and physical, filled with silly voices and slapstick. After Laugh-In, she was a regular in Disney live-action movies, taking roles in Freaky Friday and The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again. Buzzi died in her sleep on May 1, 2025 at a hospice care facility in Texas. The cause of death was Alzheimer's. She was 88. When network TV began to get more interesting and offbeat in the early 1990s, Valerie Mahaffey was there for it. Previously best known for a daytime Emmy-nominated stint on the soap The Doctors, Mahaffey became known to primetime viewers as Eve in Northern Exposure. Mahaffey's work as the anxiety-ridden germaphobe caught up in a contentious relationship with a bitter doctor won her an Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series. Mahaffey also starred in the short-lived politically based sitcoms The Powers That Be and Women of the House. More recently, she showed up in recurring roles on Desperate Housewives, Glee, Devious Maids, Dead to Me, and Young Sheldon, in which she played Sheldon's beleaguered teacher. Her last major movie role in 2021's French Exit earned her an Independent Spirit Award nomination. Mahaffey died of cancer on May 30, 2025, a few weeks before her 72nd birthday. In 1951, the comic strip Dennis the Menace hit newspapers, and readers fell for Dennis Mitchell, an unabashedly mischievous child who irritated his neighbors and his own parents every single day. It sounds like the definition of a sitcom, and CBS agreed. So in 1959, the series, also called Dennis the Menace, hit the air with 8-year-old child star Jay North in the lead role. After 4 years as Dennis, North bopped around episodic television, starring in the short-lived adventure show Maya before moving into voice acting in the 1970s. North played Prince Torhan on the Banana Splits Adventure Hour and teenage Bam Bam Rubble on various Flintstones spin-offs. He then semi-retired from acting, but continued making cameos as himself from the late 1980s onward, while working as a corrections officer. North died of cancer on April 6, 2025 at the age of 73. Trained in the crackling Groundlings Comedy Theater in the early 1980s, Lynne Marie Stewart went on to play fan-favorite roles in 2 classic comedy series.
You really are the most beautiful woman in Puppet Land.
Oh, thank you, Pee-wee.
Stewart played the elegant, if mystifying, Miss Yvonne on the Saturday morning cult hit Pee-wee's Playhouse, reprising the role she originated in Paul Rubin's stage version. While Stewart appeared in more than 150 films and TV series, including American Graffiti, Bridesmaids, and Clear and Present Danger, she's probably best known for playing Miss Yvonne and Bonnie Kelly, Charlie Kelly's put-upon mother on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just weeks after completing filming on the comedy film The Dink, Stewart died of cancer at the age of 78. Space Ghost Coast to Coast was a talk show in which a nearly forgotten Hanna-Barbera sci-fi superhero who appeared in a number of 1960s shorts interviewed real celebrities, with a heavy dose of trolling for good measure. Space Ghost also appeared on Cartoon Planet, a daytime sketch and musical variety show. George Lowe voiced Space Ghost on both programs, imbuing his character with massively unearned confidence and a sense of the sublimely ridiculous.
Go on, you doggies. Go on to Texas. I'll meet you there.
Lowe lent his distinctive voice to plenty of other cartoons on and off Adult Swim, such as Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Robot Chicken, The Brack Show, Squidbillies, and American Dad. After undergoing surgery for a minor heart ailment in November 2024, Lowe suffered from complications, and on March 2, 2025, he died at the age of 67. The original members of the UK's illustrious National Theatre, formed in the early 1960s by Sir Laurence Olivier, would number among the greatest, most honored British actors of the 20th century. Alongside Maggie Smith, Derek Jacobi, and Michael Gambon was Olivier's wife, Dame Joan Plowright. While she appeared in many plays at the National, Plowright was also making a name for herself on screen. In 1960, she received a BAFTA nomination for her work in the movie The Entertainer and won a Tony Award for the play A Taste of Honey. At the 1993 Golden Globe Awards, Plowright took home 2 awards, Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in a Movie for Enchanted April, for which she also received an Oscar nomination, and Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role on Television for Stalin. In the mid-2010s, Plowright was declared legally blind and retired to her home in Sussex, England. On January 16, 2025, she died at Denville Hall, a retirement home for theater people, at the age of 95. Character actor Biff Wiff, whose real name was Gary Crotty, played a lot of creeps, kooks, and eccentrics in a career that stretched back more than 40 years. Often showing up for just an episode or 2, he could be spotted in everything from Moonlighting to Night Court to Reba to iCarly. Later in his career, Wiff played himself on an episode of Little Dickie's Dave and appeared on 2 installments of the staged documentary Jury Duty, but his late-coming breakout performance came in 2021 when he played a nasty, cringeworthy iteration of Santa Claus in Season 2 of the sketch comedy series I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. In early 2023, Wiff was diagnosed with cancer, and his friends launched a crowdfunding drive to pay for his treatments. Just under 2 years later, Wiff died from complications of the disease. He was 76 years old. In his two most famous roles on two of television's most popular comedies, Jonathan Joss delivered a signature 1-2 combination of humor and social commentary. Joss's characters, Native American like the actor, inevitably delivered deadpan, disappointed, quietly seething reactions to the oblivious, ridiculous, and sensitive behavior of white people. Joss lent his voice to more than 30 episodes of King of the Hill, playing hard rocker and healer John Redcorn. And on 5 episodes of Parks and Recreation, he played Native American Chief Ken Hotate. Joss also racked up dozens of other credits, mostly supporting roles in TV series like Tulsa King, Ray Donovan, and Comanche Moon. The actor's death was sudden and senseless. On June 1, 2025, Joss's San Antonio neighbor, Sigfredo Ceja Alvarez, shot and killed him after an argument. Joss's murder was investigated as a hate crime, likely linked to his identity as a member of the LGBT community. Jonathan Joss was 59 years old at the time of his death. Alvarez is facing charges of first-degree murder.